Welcome back, guys. I'm doing a special broadcast. This is to be the last of the Oriole Baltimore baseball ballpark era. The one that, well, this is the end of the, I would say, the lineage, the Oriole Park at Camden Yards lineage. Um, because there's a direct lineage um, from Oriole Park 2, Oriole Park 3, Union Park, Oriole Park 4, Oriole Park 5, Municipal Stadium, and then from Municipal Stadium you have, um, and then from Municipal Stadium you have Memorial Stadium, and then from Memorial Stadium you have Oriole Park at Camden Yards. I've been busy lately. I've been going out um, to ball games and stuff. Last Sunday I went to Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Yesterday I went to Nationals Park, um, um, which is not Camden Yards by any means. Um, it's very it's a very okay ballpark. Um, I mean, it's nice to have for an experience going as an opposing um, team, as opposed to like being in the confines of your own home ballpark. It's a lot easier when your team's winning. But it's very interesting. So, when I go to Nationals Park, played in when he started out his career. We all know how old Babe Ruth is and how long ago he was born. Um, all those things are hard to discover and find. So, with Oriole Park 4, built on the same location that Oriole Park 2 was built on, off of Greenmount in Baltimore City, right across the street to the future location of Oriole Park 5, which burned down in 1944, thus leading the Orioles to the then farm team Orioles, not the Major League Baltimore Orioles that came from the St. Louis Browns, moved to Baltimore. That decided to guess I can get rid of this. I can get rid of this. This takes up memory. So that's the problem. The issue is, unless the ballpark itself was heavily photographed, you're going to have a very difficult time in trying to find photographic evidence, seating charts, seating numbers, yardage, things such as that. It's going to be very, very difficult, and that's unfortunate because you like to be consistent, you like to be accurate, but I think a lot of these ballparks are just they are very much so for the sake of artistic license. At some point, you have to take artistic license with ballparks like this, and it really annoys me a little bit because as a history major, who was in my undergrad as a history major, this type of stuff, like, it's really, really annoying because you don't have the resources that you want to. You don't have the resources to make the best you can off of like which Oriole Park for, which is the number one thing I tell you guys not to do. Please, please, please watch, pay attention all the time as to like what you're saving, how you're saving, and where you're saving it at, because you will run into that problem. So what I did was I took Oriole Park 3, which was Union Park, and I just reconfigured everything. I deleted layers and stuff and put up new stuff and put up new flagpoles and things such as that to get some stuff going for myself. So I'm still making the final touches on it, rearranging everything, trying to make stuff right and good. But one thing I did try to get right with Oriole Park is the seating placement. Um, Again, I took a lot of liberty with artistic license because this game, for some reason, being next gen, doesn't have standing models. You only got people who sit down, so that's crazy. Um, I know from what I hear, SDS is a small crew of people who are pretty much not able to, you know, pull off certain things that other, say like an EA would have pulled off, but EA don't pull off that much these days since you know their effort and stuff. But um, it's like there's no standing models. There's the flags doesn't move. Flags don't move. There's no wind. There's no night games. There's none of that stuff. This is next gen, and like I have been, you know, I've been kind of respectful and quiet to like the process, but it's like, come on, guys, this is next gen. So hopefully they fix that. Hopefully they patch it up, do something with it, get that going. So this is going to be the last one. I'm gonna try and wrap it up today because I have places to go and things to do. But I feel like I owe it to, you know, I owe it to the people who love my content, love my ballparks, and type of historical prowessness that I provide to this. So I'm gonna try and get to it today. So here's the ballpark. The dimensions are a little weird. I tried to follow the dimensions off of seam heads, and they have center field, SCF, and then they have SCF, and then they have like some other stuff too as well. So the problem is the photos kind of look like this. You have all of center field, so you got pictures taken from center field, but you don't have pictures facing center field. So what that means is this right here has to be all artistic interpretation. And being that this ballpark was built in 1901, near the turn of the 20th century, you don't have Instagram, you don't have Facebook, you don't have YouTube, you don't have any of these types of social media things. So what you have to do is you have to take artistic license. You have to take an artistic type of license. A lot of directors do that when they make movies and stuff. So you would just have to use your imagination and try to envision what would outfield look like. So a ballpark at that time, especially during the height of the Deadball era at that time, you have a lot of people out in center field. You have a big center field, wooden fence, wooden fences. I try to put an American flag there. Put an American flag there right near center field. And then what I'm going to do is add some white picket fence. You know, add a little bit of a little white picket fence, something that's very common during that time. You know, because I don't really know what center field look like, and most of the people who do are dead and gone now, unfortunately. So you can't really ask them. They do have seating charts. They do have city charts, like what the city looked like at that time. But even that's a little inconsistent because you're looking at a picture from 1909, okay? So you're looking at a picture from 1909, but you have a map chart from 1914. And so 1909 is different from 1914. City changed at that time. You don't, like, the city for the most part had grass hills and all these types of things, and mansions and buildings and stuff. And so, like, Baltimore had a great fire at some point. You know, a lot of stuff got burned down, got lost with time. So it's a little difficult to try and make an authentic experience when you don't have those references. Memorial Stadium, to be honest with you, is difficult to do because of the lack of evidence that you have to make that thing work the way that you want it to work. And that's unfortunate, but it's a little bit easier to pull off, per se. Um, so, but with ballparks like this, it's impossible. Um, so there you go. You got Old Faithful right there, right out there in center field. You got a scoreboard. I try to lower it so it just has a clock or something on it with some ads. Um, Again, this is just something in which I've always said that this game is very beautiful in the fact that it's very unlimited. You can manipulate a lot of stuff if you know how to do it. Take a lot of buildings, take a lot of materials, take a lot of woods and stuff like that, and try to mend it to be what you want it to be. But you know, at the same time, it's going to be very limiting in the sense of like what you wish to do. So, the facade, they said it's you know, it's kind of like Evans Field or something like that, but I don't know. It's just it's very difficult. You have to really take. I mean, you try to use a lot of stuff. You know that a lot of ballparks at the time was built out of wood, so you try to do that. You try to work with that. Um, so. So you just don't know like what to go by. And by the time 1914 kicked in, you know, Oriole Park 5 was already in work. So you have that to go on. And it makes it difficult. Hey Max, how's it going? So anyway, my rant about Nationals Park. Nationals Park is not Camden Yards. Nationals Park is a end result of the end result of the neoclassic ballpark. But it's just very it's modern, but it's just generic. You know, I liked it. I liked going because, for the most part, it was a new experience. You know, for most of my life, I never really went to another ballpark. I either drove past one or tried to discover it or something like that. But, you know, it was something that was a great experience. Girl I know brought tickets for my birthday, and we went and checked it out. It was pretty cool. You know, we had a fun time. We had a great experience. And that's how it should be, you know. But that aside, looking at the ballpark itself is just meh, you know. It's much like the franchise. Like, you know, the Washington Nationals moved from Montreal. They were the Montreal Expos, and they have this weird type of thing where they're trying to like force tradition, you know. And when you try to force tradition, it's kind of like not traditionist. Like if you won your like if you look at the Orioles, and I mean obviously I'm a little biased, but like if you look at the Orioles, like the Orioles didn't just jump off the bat and try to like find tradition. It's like they grew into tradition. They grew into tradition by number one, moving in 1954. 1966 they won their first World Series, and upon 1966 we won. Ball flies pretty good because that center field is 377, 377, 402. So at 377, 377 feet to center field, kicks out. Memorial Stadium, center field, 410. 410 or 405, depending upon which era you're in, but mostly 410. Camden Yards, 410. And where Camden Yards is a hitter's park is his corners, left field, right field, with a short deck on the right, short deck on the left. But you can still hit it out the park. Now Nationals Park is a hitter's friendly park, you know. But that's it. It's nothing special about that ballpark. It's nothing, you know. I just, and I hate to crap on it, but you know, you know, for the longest time, I would say for 30 some years, the Nationals fan base was Orioles fans base, and I just can't get over the fact of like there is no way that if you were born before 2005, there is no way humanly possible you are a diehard Nationals fan. It's just, to me, it just doesn't compute because, like, if you look at the history, like the Orioles had that DC market. Orioles had that DC market for 30 some years. Okay, they had it for 30 some years. There is no way humanly possible that people who grew up with the Senators leaving. Um, I was there yesterday, so I mean, obviously, it's just would have loved for them to win. You know, would have been great, but it wasn't in the books, especially with this little rebuild that they're trying to sell people, which I'm not a fan of. Not a fan of rebuilds at all. Um, you know. But anyways, like I was saying, like the Orioles had the DC market from 1972 till 2004. So you're talking what 32 years they had it. All of a sudden, there's all these Nats fans. I remember when the Nationals came to DC. Like, I remember when the Nationals came to DC in 2004. Nobody wasn't really that much of a Nationals fan. They didn't want to be called the Senators. And the Washington Nationals existed at some point in baseball before then, and so they took that as their name. So what they do is they borrow from the Expos, they borrow from the Senators, but they're not called the Senators, and they're not called the Expos. Give that history to Montreal, so Montreal can get an expansion team and make the Expos. And that's why I call them the Washington Expos. I don't like, they're just, I don't know. It's just a cringeworthy fan base. Try to make tradition all the time, like these waving these hats and stuff like that. What is that? It's like you're not the Yankees. Like, you won one World Series. Okay, good. Win another one. Win 3, and come back and talk to me. It's just ridiculous. Natitude. What is that? But their stadium is, you know, I mean, biasness aside, their stadium is very impressive. It's big, but the thing about it is Camden Yards has more seats, probably about 4,000 more seats than, say, Nationals Park, which is weird. You wouldn't think that if you sat in that thing. But it's like, you know, come on, guys. Major League Baseball wanted to push that. They wanted to move the Expos to DC. Washington has had 3 baseball teams. Baltimore's had multiple baseball teams. We have multiple football teams as well. And the thing is that the Baltimore-Washington market is so close that one can do without the other one. That's why Baltimore doesn't have a basketball team or hockey team or anything like that, because Washington covered the market. Which is why I scoff at the idea, like, when Baltimore people and Washington people like get annoyed when Baltimore people root for the Caps. I'm like, that's all we got. So, like, if you're like, get mad at Leonsis for that. He's the one that's cornered the market. Yeah. But, like, the Washington Nationals history is just so weird, because it's like, at one point they claim the Expos, like, they'll wear Expos throwbacks and stuff like that, and then they'll wear, like, Senators throwbacks, which the Texas Rangers had at one point, and the Minnesota Twins, which were the first batch of the Senators, they hold and stuff like that. So it's weird. Which is no different. I guess like the Orioles had the St. Louis Browns throwbacks, but they haven't wore those in like 17 years or so, 17, 15 years. So, you know, I'm just biased. I don't really care for that team or their subsequent annoying fan base now that acts arrogant. now that they won the World Series. Before 2012, you couldn't find a Nationals fan. You couldn't. Like I'm like God's honest truth, you couldn't find a Nationals fan. And the fact of the matter is that like that team didn't start winning and having a fan base until what's his name? Bryce Harper. You had Brian Zimmerman that was there and all that type of stuff, but you know, this is coming from a person who was an Orioles fan since day one. Like even I brought a Nationals hat back in the day, and like they were in Maryland and everything, you know, because they were the new team, and the Orioles at the time were playing like garbage, and nobody and people were like jumping ship. So, you know, it is what it is. I know I sound bitter. This rebuild is just, you know, I used to be on board with it, but I don't care for the rebuild anymore, to be honest with you, because the rebuild to me doesn't make any sense. I don't see no results. I don't see the logic. You know, everybody says, oh, well, be patient. 2000, in 2 years, they'll be great. I was like, yeah, you said that 2 years ago. Like, like you said that 2 years ago, and they're still not good. So what are we talking about here? I don't like rebuilds. I think rebuilds are the biggest joke in sports. I've always said trust the process, but the process doesn't make any sense. I don't like the idea of rebuilds, and hopefully the commissioner does something about that hopefully the commissioner does something about that in baseball. Like I don't care for rebuilds. I don't think it's healthy for the fan base. I don't think it's healthy for the game. I don't think it's healthy for the revenue. You know, and you have all these radio stations that are purchased by these teams, so obviously you're not going to get a legitimate argument out of them because they're bought for and paid for by the team to talk nice about. So that's also going to be a part of the factor. And you got that going for you. It's just, I don't know. Will they be good? But do you want to sit up there and pay $90, $50, $500? You want to pay double tickets to sit in a ballpark and watch a team of nobodies get blasted out 20-0? When all you hear is these fans say, oh, you don't understand it. You need to trust the process. No, I think we did trust the process. We trust the process until the Astros got caught cheating. Like, that's the problem. Like, the Astros got caught cheating. And so when you hire a GM that comes from a team that has gotten caught with the trash can scandals, and you start to hear that people are doing this and doing that, it's like, yeah, he wasn't involved. I got you. He wasn't. But still, you know, he comes from a team that their legitimate winning wasn't legitimate. They were caught cheating. Even much so that the Washington Nationals, like, caught on to it. Like, they tried to throw them off because of that. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that. You know? Don't know how I feel about any of that. I was all on board until that came out. And I was like, well, why are we so confident in this? You know, why are we so confident in a rebuild of a GM that came from a team where their bread was buttered by being sketch, and the players never got punished for what they did at all? Like, okay. I just don't like rebuilds. I don't. To me, it's a waste of time. Like, you have to sell. There has to be results. There has to be growth. And it's like, to me, this rebuild took place in 2019. It's now 2021. And you still haven't had second base settled. Second base is still not settled. Shortstop is still not settled. You have a rotating door of a bunch of no-name 68 overall rated players with a couple of good players. And you have a GM who, for the most part, doesn't really care. They come out and they said, hey, we're about the minor leagues. All the talent, all the wins are in the minor leagues. Okay, why am I going to pay to see your team? And then you got these radio hosts and stuff to call in and say, well, you need to support the team. You need to go down there and see the games and stuff because if you don't, they're going to leave. But okay, it's human nature. Why are you going to invest money in something that has no investment? I just don't get it. It's not feasible. I think rebuilds are so unhealthy for sports. You know? It's just so unhealthy. It's not good, in my honest opinion. Sports is not meant. Human beings are not meant to love a bad product, and that's what rebuilds are. Rebuilds are, hey, we're gonna $500 for our product, even though it's gonna be piss poor. I don't know. Don't know how I feel about it. Don't know how I think about it. Everybody says be patient, be patient. I'm like, be patient about what? Like, I just don't. Synthetic turf. Okay. I tell you guys what I will be doing. I know in the future I'm going to be doing UMBC's alumni field, which is my alma mater's baseball field. I will be doing. We'll be doing a special memorial stadium. I'm going to be doing the memorial stadium that is now there, which is Memorial Stadium Place, and it's going to be fun looking. It's going to be the alpha to the. It's going to be the omega to the alpha. So I did the construction version, and I'm going to do the demolition version, where you just get the what it looks like now. So it's going to be really fun. It's going to be fun making that. So. I'm all about trusting the process when the process works. You know, like I'm all on board when the process works. But I don't know, man. It just to me it just doesn't work. Doesn't work. You got all these people and you got all these people in the minor leagues that are okay. They're going to be potentially good and blah blah blah. And it's like, all right, well, we're still paying. Like you guys haven't lessened the prices on tickets, so. I don't know. Not my cup of tea. I like winning. I don't like going to ballparks, spending $90 on tickets and food and stuff, and seeing my team get blown out by 30 runs. GM still makes the same money. The pitcher still makes the same money. Everybody makes the same money. It's like baseball just needs to change. You got teams like New York and Boston that are always going to be championship contenders, and they've been championship contenders since what, 1900s? Back when the Yankees were winning World Series off of grocery store clerks and part-time mechanics, cigar makers or whatever. So I don't know. But good for them. I mean, good for the Nationals. They won one World Series. Still doesn't account for their arrogance. Like, their fan base is just getting uber annoying now. Alright, now I need to find a chart. Alright, so this is welcome to Oriole Park 4, aka American Legion Park. Formerly located in Baltimore, Maryland, former home of the American League. Let me see if I can find it under that name. American Legion. American Legion Park. I think the problem is that there's so many so many baseball parks back then that were named the same thing. So it's going to be hard to try and find stuff like that. that's why this one's going to be my last one. The next ones I'm going to be working on are going to be a couple of customs, a couple of Negro Leagues ballparks around Baltimore, and that's pretty much it. And it goes straight to what's in Boston too. So now what I want to do is I just want to tighten up on the surroundings, on the settings and stuff. There's a lot of trees and stuff around here. But outside here, if you look at a picture from 1909, because what I might do is I might just splice the two. 1909's outside with 1914, even though that's a 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, about a 7-year difference. So I'm also going to be renovating my my RFK Stadium layout. So I'm going to be taking down some decks, stuff like that. So, all right, here we go. That's going to be up on a hill. Let's get rid of all this, because I'm going to be putting them down somewhere else. Crazy thing, this is a next-gen game, but these graphics look so they look so Nintendo 64. It's crazy. All right, let's see what we got here. See what I can do. And then kind of like that. See, that's the issue with creating classic ballparks. And I might do one from the 1800s too, because that's very simple. It's just a couple of grass and some woods. You know, I love history. It's very big, very big, very big, and essential to you know, the game. Get some roughage here. Very slim pickings. Look at this. This is crazy. What is this? Wow. The Sam Hill? I don't think it's this big. Let's see how big this thing is. It's even Christmas. Mound Hill. Don't need that. There's a way to make all this stuff look natural. There was a guy on Reddit who made this beautiful, like beautiful country style of country style of a house, and he had like a river and had like fences and stuff. I was like, wow, he had some good stuff. So. This is Oriole Park 4, built on the same location as Oriole Park 2, but you're not going to find anything about Oriole Park 2. Anything. You're not going to find it. So don't even try. Don't even try to find it. It's gone, man. It's gone. It is gone. Most ballparks at the turn of the 20th century are like that. You can't find a single thing. And I think back then, especially in 1901, they didn't really have pavement and concrete. It was all dirt roads and stuff back then. So I might change this to, I might change all this to dirt roads. Grass, red rock, sand. Southwest desert. Dirt. Dirt, cane, grass too. Dirt canyon. Might just do this, man. Might just make it dirt. Turn it into dirt. That's what this looks like. I think there's a nice little white house. I'm going to show the picture on my Reddit. Anybody who wishes to follow me on Reddit, it's the gaming kitchen. That's it. It's just the gaming kitchen on Reddit. That's where I post to. I post to MLB The Show stadiums. This building right here, this building's in DC. I saw this yesterday at Nationals Park. This is where they took that building from. So it seems like what MLB The Show did was just take they just cherry picked a couple of stuff and just tossed it in here. And said, have fun with your life. I'm just trying to find that house. I'm not going to have it. Buildings. Stable, suburban house. There it is. All right, let's get this right. Wow, they went all out on this house. It's a matter of where to place it at. All right. Because you're supposed to see it from here. It's a little bit closer. Let's be a little bit closer. Let me bring a little bit closer. That's the whole thing about the city back then, is that, like, in most cities, it was nothing but dirt roads. Pavements and stuff didn't start to come in until, like, 1907, 1910, especially with the beginning of the automobile. This is what you had. This is what you dealt with. So you had, like, a lot of settled land that was paved over and all that type of stuff. Try to give everybody the most authentic experience that you can possibly have playing in a classic ballpark. But, you know, it's kind of hard to do that when you don't have the... That's crazy. The guy who kept telling me my Memorial Stadium scoreboard was wrong has not showed up yet. And he hasn't made a Memorial Stadium yet. It's bizarre. There we go. So let's see now. Does this house still need to be tilted? All right. I think scenery is just as important as everything else you have in your game. I know a lot of people talk about minimalism and stuff, but you know, you still want immersion. Like, don't lie to yourself. So you can get some buildings in the back here. Just gonna go around here and just get some hills. If this is going to hit 90 and I'm not going to do what I need to fulfill, this is going to make me very, very disappointed. Then you got another building that's a couple down from that. What you got here? Then you got a tree right here. Then you got some trees like this in the back. I feel like Bob Ross in here. Like good old Bob Ross, man. And there's another building here that I don't know what it is. I always get carried away on this. This is what does me in every time. I don't know what I see. This right here. This one looks like a old brick apartment. So this is further down. Let's say further down this way. Okay, that works. Shoot. They gotta sparse them out a little bit. That's the only problem. Because if you don't do that, it looks a little artificial. Alright, let's see how this looks. Okay. Alright, and then you have... I'm doing my best to try and accurately... just want to accurately place trees. And generally, like, if you do like a natural environment, trees are just everywhere. They're not just one specific group or anything like that. I will always be making certain specific types of Memorial Stadium. It's just that I found myself making like dozens of them things, and it's like I'm wasting time. Like I got so many other ones I like to work on, you know, and it's like, you know, I'm wasting time. Like I would like to work on like some other stuff that I had going for myself. I'm gonna try and make this one available for Diamond Dynasty. I know Union Park 3 is not available for Diamond Dynasty because it's just too unique of a ballpark from the dimensions that were made. So throw a little bit of pine in there, put a little pine tree back there. Pine trees. Look at that. There you go. Put a couple row homes there, because who knows. Classic University, Classic Smokehouse, Classic row home. And this is the best part. You can always use this back here as this little block of cement. You'd always use this back here as something. So. All right, and so now. This is what the picture looks like. So, take this one tree out, put this over here. This over here. This is really gonna get on my nerves if this thing maxes out. That's what it looks like. So, what's the seating chart looking like? Okay. So then we got houses to the back of it. Just gotta make this look natural. It's gotta somehow blend into like the city. City a little bit. What you gotta do is you gotta put some buildings around it. That's what you gotta do. Small barn. Stable. Don't need no stable. Small barn. That's what this house has right here. A little bit of a small little doohickey right next to it. Put that right there. See, I try to go by the seating chart. Try to go by the chart here, as to like what to put here and stuff. But it doesn't match up because you got time change. So what I'm gonna try and do is row house it as best as possible to give it some texture in behind. Like this is the first ballpark map I make with a dirt road with dirt on it and stuff. So we're trying to see how this works. Okay, see how this goes. Oh, by the way, all of this stuff right here that you see has been custom made. I took stands, wood, the wood from everything, and built. It may take up a lot of memory, which it eventually looks like it will do. But this reminds me of Red Dead Redemption. I wish I had more memory. So yeah, a little bit of artistic license. Take you a great distance, but you got to have the imagination for it. And let's see if there's any buildings in the front of this, because I don't want to. I just don't want to neglect it. Okay. Facing is going to be, which I have enough here. I have enough. I just put a couple of houses because it's supposed to be a road. Give enough space for a street. Back then, he used to ride horse and buggy. That's what they used to do. A little space in between that, a little bit green. Alright. There you go. I try to make this as accurate as possible with the neighborhood layout and everything. It's not always perfect, especially from something that's 120 years ago. But you try. You just want to make it look lively. You just want it to have some life to it, you know? And being that this is in a different part of Baltimore, you benefit from that certain type of aspect of adding a little bit of depth and layer. That's one thing I found. A lot of people who love ballparks, they love the depth of layer that's with it. that. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. I'll be honest with you, like I almost gave up on this thing. Because it was like I had no information. I was like, well, how am I going to start this thing? Where am I going to start from? Like, what am I doing? Like how can I create this thing? I think I could probably delete some people. Delete that. Let me see if that takes my memory down just a little bit. A little smudge. See, look, you see that? That is what I like to call, that's what I call the deliciousness of depth. It gives you like, it gives you a great feel when you play in a ballpark like this. So let's see, play right here, a couple of houses. Let's see what we got here. Back. Houses facing up that street. Okay. A whole bunch of houses that go up this row. Now, if you look at the Oriole Park map, the Oriole Park 4 map, the 5 map is going to look different because it's from a different era, different time. And so you can benefit from that. But at the end of the day, this has to be a straight line. So that means this can't be there. It's all about that depth. Which actually should be further back because Baltimore backyards are kind of like that. Why do they face like this? It's more realistic. A lot of alleyways and stuff that they have. If I had a little bit more memory, I'd add some concrete sidewalks and stuff like that. Make it a little bit immersive. See how much I can get away with. I love the buildings. I love the buildings, man. If I can try and make the houses and the buildings and stuff, I'd do it all day. All right. Need a few more of these. Let's see if I can take this fence down, though. See, what I like to do is, like, when I create these things, I like to find out, like, where I can get, you know, after I, you know, use, after I use my resources, I like to see, like, how much I can get. You probably cheat a little bit. You know what I mean? Like you can probably have like a whole fence, like this. Have a whole fence like that. Make it unique. Make this wall big. So as you can see, ladies and gents, this wood piece right here, the small wood pieces is what adds to your memory being taken up. Whole memory thing doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know why they just don't make it unlimited. Then a lot of people say they choose. Don't need all these people either. There we go. Shorten the stick a little bit. Just a little bit. Don't need that. Shorten just a smidge. Take that away. Now I can add a little bit more than I want. And if you have photo references, that helps too. Because now look. Good stuff. Look how beautiful that is, ladies and gents. Cut a couple off here. And you want to bring that around. Just to hide the whole awkwardness of that hill. Put a little bit of depth in there, switch it up. Now, one thing I like about urban is you have some buildings in the back too that helps. They help a great ton. And I might do something pretty cool. 1 second. Let's see if I have enough memory. I can do Oriole Park 5 on the side of this. Put a little tree there. And then have what you got there? A little bit of trees in the back. There you go. Look at that. There you go. so it has a little bit of personality. So when you see that, you look over, you got trees, a little bit of space right here, which you can probably get away with. I'm gonna put a little something over there. Thanks, man. This really turned out because I oversaved the other one. I really oversaved the other one. So I have no choice but to so what I'm going to do that's really special in all of this, I'm going to delete all of this because all it's doing is taking up space anyway. Let's see here. So what you have over here is the location of Oriole Park, the future site of Oriole Park 5. So let's see if I can do something real quick here. It's not built yet, but I want to have the outline of it because that street where it street where it comes from comes at a point. So what you want to do is this street's got to match up with that. So I'm gonna try and see how I can get this because on this side you have a whole other block, right? So I gotta save this real quick. This is how you keep consistency in what you create. And it makes people go like, oh man, like this is connected. This is what All-Star Baseball used to do. All-Star Baseball used to do. It's like if you played in the Polo Grounds from All-Star Baseball, you could see Yankee Stadium across the river. So I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna go back to. Let's see if I still got it on here. If I don't, I'm gonna have to. Okay. So this is Oriole Park 4. Which I'm thinking about going back over here and editing this. Editing this a little bit, but you know. But this is Oriole Park 4. This is 5. So I gotta see. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 houses here. Okay. Beautiful lane. So guess what I'm going to have to do? I have to put that church in there too. But I don't know when that church was built. I mean, I'm good at some things, but some other things I'm not. All right, so 15 houses. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Gotta move over, though. This one was what? All right, this was a barbecue place. This one was the other side. This one was this. I mean, obviously it's going to be on a smaller scale, but you get the picture. Because this ballpark is huge. Actually, in reality, what I should do is delete all that parking space and make them row homes, because that's what they were in 1914. All right, so we're going to save this. It's going to be artistic license because there's no maps, there's no pictures of what Baltimore looks like at this time, and if they are, they're in an archive somewhere. To go to the library